Broadcasting from the C lot of Jones C. Edwards Stadium, the ThunderCast is here with all the sights and sounds of game day. We are your tailgate destination. We are your fan base amplification. We are the ThunderCast, and we are live. Welcome to ThunderCast Live, powered by Ignite Link. We are live on the West Lot for the 2024 Marshall Spring Football Game, Russ, and we have had a blessing of the day. Way better than last year's weather.
Yeah.
It stayed gorgeous and dry, and it has been a pretty nice turnout out here on the West Lot. We've got mounds of great food out here for people to stop by and gorge themselves on. It's been a great weekend so far. Excellent football alumni event last night. Today it's spilled over into the West Lot. The tailgating has been really, really solid.
Yeah, it has.
I tell you what, though, we're going to get our first look at the air raid herd today a little bit, maybe. I think a lot of folks are excited about that. We're going to get our first look at a bunch of the new weapons that have come in for new offensive coordinator Seth Dagey. I think there's a lot of questions, more questions than answers right now for a lot of folks, but for right now, it's all about the tailgate and the West Lot.
I had a bunch of people that were texting or sending on social media and it's like, where are you guys set up? And I'm like, you won't miss us.
You can't miss
Off
it.
camera here, you won't see it, but we have the only RV here with the canopy out. 4 tables worth of food with chafing dishes. We've got Jed showing us that right now. The smoker over there, you'll probably be able to see a little bit of it, but yeah, we're the only ones doing that out here. You know.
Yeah, and for some reason, folks are still surprised by that.
Yeah.
Even though we did this last year, it's a little bit bigger this year.
Yep.
And we've been talking about it for weeks. Still, there are some folks that were surprised that we showed up the way we did, and Chris and the team over there cooked their asses off all night last night. And I tell you, I just enjoy being able to host this type of thing for some folks and get more people out to the spring game because, look, you know what it's all about with the ThunderCast. It's all about giving back to the herd and growing the fan base.
That's right.
And it's also about us having a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh, we're having a great time. And, you know, we talk about things that we do to grow the fan base. The Big Green stepped up, brought over a 17-inch Blackstone griddle for the tabletop for tailgaters and everything. Anyone that signs up for the Big Green or increases their current Big Green donation by at least $60, which is the minimum to join as new, gets these really nice oven/grill mitts with Marshall's logo on them, and then they get entered into that drawing. And we've already had several people do that over here, so we're growing the Big Green. One of them, a Texas resident, will not be here, decided he wanted to do that just to support the Big Green and for what we're doing here.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. Very cool of the Big Green, in keeping with the tailgating theme of the day, right? Offering up some really nice, high-quality oven/grill mitts. And we got our first look at the Blackstone griddle last night. And, hey, man, that's a pretty sweet little prize just for kind of joining the Big Green, doing what we all should be doing anyway and helping out the herd. And for a minimum donation, that's a pretty good price for a minimum donation.
Yeah, I'm going to see if we can ask the production truck to bring us 2 of the oven mitts over here so we can show everybody. Jed,
maybe at some point he'll be able to do that, but he doesn't have his AirPods in at the moment.
Jed,
so
can you bring the oven mitts over? Can you bring the oven mitts over?
Just to say, we want to give people a look at what they can get by joining the Big Green today. Because
and we referenced Jed here. KD, as I have these oven mitts here, why don't you talk about Jed, who is a big part of ThunderCast Live, powered by Ignite Link?
Well, he's such a big part that, of course, now we're no longer ThunderCast Live. We are ThunderCast Live powered by Ignite Link because Ignite Link is, like you said, such a huge part of what we do.
Yeah.
Jed and his team make so much of what we are able to do possible. And we are so thankful that Ignite Link is part of our team. I've called them from day one a strategic partner. They're not just a sponsor. They're far more than that. And what they do for us to be able to bring this type of content to the fan base is it's immeasurable, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, of course, we say this all the time, and it always rings true. They're Herd alums. They're a local Huntington business. Like, if you are a business owner and you need solutions for your IT needs, it would behoove you to get a hold of Ignite Link and see what services they can offer, see what troubles they can take off of your plate, right? Because, like you like to say, Herd fans like to do business with Herd fans, and that's exactly what Jed and the crew at Ignite Link are. They're Herd fans.
Don't forget, they have a new division. It's a different company, different name, but Layer 1 Solutions. It's still the Ignite Link team with Jed and his guys. They run fiber, cable, organize all of your physical stuff before they're doing the non-tangible IT stuff. Now they are doing this. It's a fully integrated. You can do one-stop shop, have them do everything for you.
So if you're outfitting your business from the get-go, you have nothing and you need something.
Or if you have it, and I'm sure you've seen the before and afters of everyone's server room.
Sure.
They do that. They will clean up your server room and run all these organized cables to where when you go in, it's not just a spider web mess. You know exactly, because the guys from Ignite Link and Layer 1 Solutions have been there.
That's right. So now they can cover you on both sides of the coin. They can get you set up and installed and then fix any problems that may arise during your day-to-day operations. Make them your strategic IT partner as well, because, hey, look what good they do for us. And again, like you say, this isn't even what they do.
Yeah.
And they do this flawlessly and wonderfully.
You used a word there a little bit ago, immeasurable, and I'm going to tie that in because you know what else was immeasurable? Glenn Pedro's plate of food that he had over there, and I'm going to tell him about it yet again. I hope he watches this because I gave him hell over there as he was doing it. I told him he needed to put some back. No, we've got some Herd legends running around here. Little bit of everybody we had a party foul over there. I'm sorry it took me right out. Somebody dropped a beer.
Oh no.
Yeah, might have to shut this down. Give me some time.
Pack it up. We're done.
Time to cope over here.
No,
anyway,
people have been coming in waves. Waves. So, if you're on the West Lot, if you happen to be listening to this, or if somebody that you know is on the West Lot and you couldn't make it, make sure you're texting them and calling them and saying, hey, the guys from the ThunderCast are over there. You can't miss the RV. Go get your belly full on some of this killer barbecue from the Kentucky Mash Boys. Sign up for the Big Green. Get yourself a set of logoed Thundering Herd oven/grill mitts. Make a difference, funding some scholarships, grow the Herd donor base. That's what it's all about. But we're out here just to have a great time. Everything we're doing is free for every Herd fan.
And how is that free?
It's all made possible today by landscaping by Hillcrest. This is a top-tier landscaping service. Don't think, I don't need my grass mowed. Think, I'm trying to transform my outdoor living space.
Yep.
I want to be creative. I want to be unique. I want to do something new.
Mm-hmm.
Landscapingbyhillcrest.com. Call them, get in touch with them, find them on Facebook, and start that conversation. What can I do?
They're on Facebook, Instagram, their website. You can go look at all the things that they do. Hardscapes, landscaping changes, water features, pools, fences. They have a product we've talked about a little bit on here called Rubberstone, and the tagline is cover your ugly. So if you have outdated porch, concrete, walkway, anything, they can do that. It doesn't have to be a flat surface. They do horizontal, vertical, a little bit of everything. It really allows you. You can put a custom inlay of a logo. I've seen a basketball court that had Marshall's Block M logo that they did in someone's backyard. Just covered up ugly asphalt,
right,
where someone had a basketball hoop, and they said, how would you like to have a logo that had the foul line, the paint, and all that with a Marshall logo in it? These guys can do anything. They're not just here in Huntington, not just here in the tri-state. Look them up. If you have something that's outdoors, they'll do it for you.
That's right. And we honestly cannot thank them enough for getting behind us and getting behind what we wanted to do this week or this weekend, really. Because it's not just today.
Not today.
Not just today. You're like, man, I'm bummed now. I couldn't make it to the West Lot. I had something else going on. I couldn't get to the spring game. This really sucks. It looks like they're having a great time out there. The food looks awesome. Well, it is. But you have an opportunity to get some of this good food tomorrow over at the Dot, because we're setting up again and we're going to have a tailgate for the softball game and the baseball game. We're going to try to be over there at the Dot in the outfield sometime around 10 to 10:30, right? Give folks time to get there, get a little plate of food, have a good time before they head over to the Jack or they find their seat at the Dot and cheer on our Diamond Sports. Big win last night by the Herd baseball team over Old Dominion. The softball team's looking to get one today, and then ultimately maybe win the series tomorrow against Coastal Carolina. So there's still a lot on the line. It's been a great weekend so far in Herd Athletics, and today it's going to be capped off with the spring football game, Russ.
Yeah, softball going on right now, baseball going on this evening, football coming up at 4, and we're going to talk about football right now.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to come to one practice. They had an open practice yesterday that we didn't get to go to with our schedules, but the excitement around a new offense, a new style, no matter what it is, you're going to have a new starting quarterback. No matter what it is, you're going to have a new offensive style. You've got a new offensive coordinator. You got a new coaches. Everything about this is going to say new.
Yeah.
No matter what. There were, I can't remember the total number that we have on transfers.
It's always been around when it's all said and done, and it's not done because we've got another portal window where we'll be able to make moves to the roster all the way through summer and leading up. But generally, it's somewhere around 40.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of turnover every year. It's not just here; it's everywhere. But it's the addition of a new offensive style that's making it, that's magnifying those changes this year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. There's some players that folks are already excited for that came through in the fall portal session. They've been, separating with one another through spring practice. I think there's a lot of wide receivers that folks are excited to get their eyes on, right? And we need to see who it is that's going to step up and fill some of those vacated roster spots from exhaustion of eligibility, right? We got to find who's going to be the guy that's the next Owen Porter, who's the next Sam Burton, right? Who's the next Eli Neal or Micah Abraham, right? Are those guys on the roster, and who's it going to be? There's guys that are returning that we're really excited to see. How did they develop? Guys like Mike Green really came on strong from a defensive end spot late last year, and it really started to click for him, and he's very, very athletic. I think he's a guy that I've got high hopes for, right on that front defensive line, right out of the gate. And then you look at a guy like Steven Dix Jr. Is he going to be that difference maker at the second level? There's also other guys. We're not pinning it on one guy, but these are guys that contributed last year, that played a big part last year, and now they're going to have to step into an even bigger role, right?
Every year we have a player. Sometimes it's a couple players, but usually one player is head and shoulders above the others that are the breakout player.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of a prediction, I'm putting you on the spot, do you have any wild prediction on who that person is going to be today?
I really don't, because of all the question marks that we have, specifically surrounding the offense. That's where I would love. That seems to be the easiest place to pick a breakout player, because there's so many first-year guys to the Herd, newcomers to the Herd, right? And then there's some guys that we've seen flashes from that are going to be tasked with stepping into bigger roles this year, right? Remember, there's no more Rasheen Ali in the backfield, right? You mentioned it. There's going to be a new quarterback. And even if it is Cole Pennington that comes out of the quarterback room to be the day one starter, that's only 2 starts. That's only a handful of starts, so it's still a limited sample size. He could easily still be your breakout player. But who's going to be that legitimate wide receiving threat? And you're talking about air raid. That's what it's got to be. It's got to be who's that downfield threat, who's that new wide receiver in the wide receiver room that's going to be, quote unquote, the guy, right?
Yeah. Who's going to be the possession receiver in this air raid offense? Because there is a lot of quick passes, get the ball to someone in space. It's not exactly like the fun and gun or the run and shoot or something like that where we're throwing 4 verticals all the time.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of let's get the ball out quick to those in space. Who's going to be that possession wide receiver? We talked about it before when we were talking about Tommy Schuler, who was the epitome of a possession receiver. What would he do in such an offense like this?
Right.
So it's going to be really nice to see who might do that. And I think that I'm looking at several people today in that wide receiver room. I think Christian Fitzpatrick, 6'4". I think he could be that outside guy on a mismatch, especially if someone's 5'10", trying to run with him. I look at the speed and elusiveness of Tyshawn Chapman. I'm excited to see what we're going to have after today. Maybe a little bit better glimpse of who that might be.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the fan base is excited for a guy like Christian Fitzpatrick because, number one, they see, Michigan State, and that has a, for whatever reason, folks are still going to think what they think about that, right? But there's guys like Elijah Metcalf, they're coming over from Middle Tennessee. Excites me just as much. But you know what? There's a guy that's on the roster that was here last year that I would really like to see have the breakout year. So circling back to what you asked me before, who do I think it is? I don't know. Who do I want to see? It's Chuck Montgomery. That's who I want to see.
Yeah.
Because Chuck is magical when he's got the ball, and he wants to be here. And I think that means something to me as a Herd fan too. I think it means a lot to every Herd fan. There was a press conference at the end of one of the games last year, and he talked about how special this place was to him and how he wanted to, he wants to be here and he wants to succeed here. And I thought, that if more Herd fans hear that, he will become a bigger fan favorite because that's the kind of stuff that they like to hear. So I'm really hoping to see Chuck Montgomery break out in this air raid offense.
Yeah, and we've seen him take it to the house from 75, 80 yards, and he has that ability to do that. And one of the other things that we've got to talk about in this is, are we going to have hold on, there is someone walking over into frame. Come on over into frame.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Hell, I'll even stand up for you. You deserve it, right? Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, of course.
We weren't expecting this, but Athletic Director Christian Spears has stopped by while we're live streaming.
Did you show him the food that you made?
Yeah, we've got a camera pointed on it, and
that's all it took, a snapshot, a photo of the food. Here I am.
Yeah, lovers of food will find food, and I'm a lover of food, and we've talked about food and good food, and I said, hey, if you got time, you'll want to come over and get your belly full.
It's true. But let me ask, we got a great weekend going on here. Let's talk about that. How big is this? How big was that alumni event last night?
Seeing all those guys come back and just get after it a little bit, right? I mean, and good for them, right? And 131, I think, is what we ended up with, which is pretty gosh darn good.
I think the biggest ever.
Yeah, they're going to tell their former teammates, and it's only going to get bigger from here. Mark George, got to love what he does to support the Herd. So really pleased with that outcome. And they all made the fountain ceremony this morning.
Yeah,
so they got after it, had a great time, but came back and did their thing in the morning. So
yeah, they some of them stopped by here and took us up on this great food.
A few in there.
I know, right? And they're singing our praises, which I love. Also, big tennis victory today over James Madison.
Number two seed. Everything matters. So we're trying to win in everything.
Yep.
And John's got us rolling. Let's see if we can catch ODU in a championship final.
Yeah.
how great would it be to win at that sport?
I'm saying.
Let's go.
We've been singing it for a while.
Yeah.
We marked Old Dominion and James Madison as the teams to beat.
Yeah.
And speaking of Old Dominion, big comeback win last night on the Diamond.
Yeah.
Looking to go 2-0 in that series today. Did you happen to make it to the Jack at all last night?
I did. I was there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what was the vibe at the Jack?
Yeah, always fun right now. It helps when you have a beautiful night.
Mm-hmm.
Our Friday, Saturday kids, they can really throw it.
Oh,
right?
goodness,
And it gives us a chance every weekend to start out 2-0 and then see what happens on Sunday. Nothing against our Sunday starter. It's just baseball is baseball.
Sure.
Anyone can beat anyone on any given day. And, the right kids step up. You saw what happened on that thriller against West Virginia. Walk-off, single. Greg Beals is going to get it done.
Yeah.
Just give him a little bit more time, and we're going to be good.
Yeah, look what we've done against Louisiana, at Louisiana.
Yeah.
What we've done,
Texas State.
Southern Miss,
Yeah.
at Southern Miss, and then Texas State here. And I feel like the conference gave us respect, seeing what we could do, especially from the mound, the way that we handled those top programs on the road.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a game of inches where if the ball drops a little bit here, you get more runners on base and you score a run. One run would have made a huge difference in that Southern Miss game down there.
Sure would.
And you get 2 runs for Bryce Blevins right now. That's a game winner.
Oh, yeah.
Could
the
be.
way he's throwing, absolutely correct.
Now, we couldn't get you out of here without talking about, of course, softball. They just had one of their big marquee events today. They handed out the Warrior Award, which is, let's just face it, it's the biggest award that they're going to hand out all year long.
Awesome that Cameron wanted to. Local kid, tons of pride in wearing the Marshall across her on her jersey. She's going to get it done too, right? If you look at the stats from a hitting perspective, we're number 1 in the Sun Belt, right? Our kids can hit, and we all know Morgan can teach that. We just got to put our pitching together. No errors, and we could make that jump in softball too against those schools that have been investing in it for a really, really long time. We only started. This is the first season we played under the lights.
Yeah.
This is the first season we've had a scoreboard.
Yeah.
Right? Not a score counter. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of time before Morgan does what we all know she's going to do: create little competitors that go out there and win.
And she's just a winner. She's always been a winner.
Yeah. She doesn't even know how to lose. I think it drives her a little bit batty, right? Because she just she's never been a part of that, right? So she's going to find a way to get back to winning.
And how about, you talked about some upgrades in the softball facilities, but across the board, our facilities have gotten so much better over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You've put a concerted effort, it looks like, into everything.
Yeah.
So, not putting you on the spot, but not details, but what do we have going on here? It's kind of underway for the future.
Yeah.
We're putting in more work into the football stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you want us, not details, no breaking news.
What we're working on. I'm always going to be transparent,
Yeah.
right? We've got to create more premium areas. And I've got an idea on the end zone building that I want to kind of get off the ground. Obviously, we need the financials to do that, but I think it'll really work. And we're going to benefit the Thunder Trust so that we can help build our program back up. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to view it, today's kid wants the transaction too.
Yeah.
They do. I'm confident we can give them that transformational experience. We see it when those 131 guys come back. We see it. We know what it did, what this place did for them in their lives. Those kids need to recognize how special it is to play for Marshall. At the same time, we've got to be willing to put together a team that has some transactional experiences in it, and we need the revenue to do that. So I've got an idea on how to do a special section, a premium section, where the proceeds go back into the Thunder Trust. That's coming soon. Mm-hmm. We've got to prioritize football at a whole nother level. The college football playoff is coming, the 12-team playoff is coming, and I want that to be us. I know you guys want that to be us.
Sure.
One team from the group of 5 is going to make it. Gosh dang it. It better be Marshall.
Why not us?
Yeah,
right?
why not us? So let's invest in it. Let's prepare for it. That's what we've been doing for the last 25 months. New field, new board, new sound system, new TV technology to make our broadcast better. Choose us.
Yeah.
Let us be the team, because we're going to work for it, and this community deserves it.
The last thing I'm going to bother you with before I let you go get your belly full.
Yeah, I'm eating.
It's fans first, right? That's
Yeah.
super important.
Yeah.
And I love that initiative. I've talked to Ryan Crisp many times about fans first. I love it. And we've kind of adopted it on a much smaller level, right? Because we want to do things like this. We want more people to come to the spring game. We want more people to be around for the weekend.
Right.
So still, for those that may not understand fans first, that's not just a slogan, right?
not.
That's a philosophy that we're trying to buy into 100%.
Right. Experiment always, right? So keep trying things, see what the fans' reaction are to them. Did it help them have a better experience at this game? We've got to be better partners too on campus. The people who manage our food have got to be better at it. The people who sell our beers have got to be better at it. The people who sell our merchandise have got to be better at it. The people who welcome us into the parking lot have got to be better at it. Everything matters, but let's experiment with promotions and special events and guests, and let's see what connects. Because every time you come to a ball game, I want to win every game. You guys want to win every game. But God forbid we lose. I want people to leave here thinking, I had an unbelievably good time. You know? And then they'll come back. And when we do win, this place will be full.
Isn't it, though? Yeah.
Forgive me, it was hard to try to get up with you guys there. It's hard out of this seat. I'm up now.
Plus, he's a little old.
I'm old.
Hey, thanks a million for stopping
man.
by, man. Please go get into that barbecue.
Thanks for that text.
It's
No problem.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I'm in.
amazing.
All right.
Christian Spears.
Peace.
Yeah, and we've got another guest that's outside of the camera right now. Former player Orlando Washington, going to have him on.
What's up?
Now I'm going to wow him with.
Orlando, good to see you, man.
I'm going to wow him with my near eidetic memory and everything. So, man, hillbilly.
Yeah. Even I knew that.
Well, I know that because he's not going to remember, but we played against each other in Summer League basketball because I'm from Gilbert. Yeah.
You weren't ready for that. He wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, so in fact, I played point guard, and I asked you if we could trade off dunks. I had a guy that I alley-ooped and let him dunk, and then I got out of the way and let you dunk on the other end because it was the end of the game. We won, by the way, by about 20.
No big deal.
No big deal. But anyway.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
There you
because I
go.
don't remember.
So there you go.
But I do want to say Orlando was here in the same time we were here. Herd legend on the defensive side of the ball. Herd legend for most wrestling pay-per-views watched. I know he's a huge wrestling fan just like I am. But Orlando, welcome to the ThunderCast. What are you looking forward to today here at the spring game?
Well, just to see what type of progress they have. I know there's a lot of new faces. I'm anxious to see. Last year, I believe, in my opinion, there was a few positions that were in need of some talent upgrade. So I'm anxious to see if that's been addressed already through the transfer portal. So I can't wait to see if we've got some upgrades that's going to get me excited for Thundering Herd football this upcoming season.
Now look, when you were here, MAC era, right? We threw the football a good bit, but we never were an air raid offense. And now this year we're adopting an air raid. How are you feeling about that? This is non-traditional herd football.
It's very similar. Our offense was, as you just said, was pass oriented, which for a defensive player, it's good when you're scoring points, but it's bad when they're dropping passes because that means we're on the field more. So it's the air raid's kind of similar. It's quick and it's fast, and it can be really beneficial, or it can be a detriment to your defense. But if it works, I'm going to be happy because just to have a more explosive offense. And I think the air raid can be kind of misconceiving by the name. I still think that there's going to be a lot of carries involved.
Yes.
Especially if you've got a good back, you're not going to phase out a workhorse running back.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's expecting like the 70 passes a game type of air raid. But it's just when you hear that, you're thinking, you know. You still look like you could line up and get us 7 or 8, 10 sacks a season. You're feeling good. You look good.
Well, I feel good, but I definitely, your body breaks down as you get older. When you're younger, you hear that, you say, all baloney.
I just couldn't get up out of a chair. So.
But no, that's what a couple of my former teammates and former players said, you look like you can still play.
Yeah.
I might look like it, but I probably cannot.
So who's got your interest in there? I know you got to be paying a little particular attention to D-line. Like, okay,
Well, I know the D-line is going to be on lock only because of the D-line coach and Mr. Ralph Street.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Ralph does a very good job, and these past few years, he's done an excellent job with the defensive line, and I look for more of the same because I know Coach Street is attention to detail. He will always have his guys ready to go.
so I'm not perfect at this, but you guys did share a line, right? Your playing careers overlapped a little, right? So I know that's got to make you feel some kind of way, a little special that, man, that's my guy out there back here with the herd. He's been successful at other stops, but now he's back here with the herd and he's doing it for the Kelly Green.
That's exactly right. When he first got the job, I was so excited for him. And you know, when you get excited, that's only part of it.
Yeah.
But when you see a former teammate having success at the alma mater, which you attended with them, that's just really rewarding. I mean, because, you know, we're all brothers. And I mean, that sounds crazy, but we're all brothers. Like all the guys through the different eras, when we see each other, it's truly, we've never missed a beat. That's just the type of love and camaraderie we'll always share.
Were you able to make the event last night?
No, unfortunately, I was not able to, and I've heard some good stories, so I wish I would have been able to come down last night.
Well, we've heard on good authority that that event will continue, so it looks like you'll have an opportunity next year to be here if you can.
Yes, what I like is, and Mark, George, and the rest of the crew have done a really good job, and everyone's resoundingly said, we want you all to continue doing this every year, because it gives us a chance to come back and just fellowship and enjoy ourselves and help out our school in any way we can.
Yeah, we are personally trying to turn spring game week into a much bigger event. We want more herd fans in the lots. We want more butts in the seats. You know, we want this to be an event instead of just the end of spring practice.
And you know, that's what it should be. It should be an event, you know, a showcasing the fans of what's to come. So, and to get everyone really excited. So, yeah, we want to keep becoming more of an event like you just said.
Yeah, and we're trying to be front and center with that. We've got great support from the athletic administration, and they're behind what we're doing. I love it. I'm going to get you out of here on this.
Okay.
When you think about your time at Marshall and you're playing, what always comes to the front of your mind? What makes you smile when you reminisce on your time with the herd?
Well, just Coach Pruitt. A simple saying. We played for, when I was here, when he was coaching, we played for championships. Stepping up and doing your job and representing your school and this city in the best way possible.
We play for championships. It's a slogan that needs to return in a big way.
Yeah.
I know we're fighting to try to do that.
When I was watching the Virginia Tech game this year, what I was happy about, which was also big when I played, was the We Are Marshall chants. That tradition, you got to keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, we may not have a lot, we may have a lot. One thing I can assure you of, these people in this stadium are some of the loudest in the country.
Yeah, even when at the end of a game, when you think, okay, bad weather, end of the game, there's only 15,000 people in the stadium, that gets loud. And the players, I've been told by just about everybody, feed off of that. When you start hearing the loud chants of We Are Marshall and you hear the crowd behind it, it's the 12th man on the field.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
When the tank gets empty, does that give you a little extra juice to get that one more rush?
It possibly could, but you know, as a player, you've got to find it anyway, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it does not.
It doesn't hurt.
Spoken like a true Southern West Virginian, man.
That's
It's
right.
like, don't give up until it's over. I ain't gonna quit until it's over. Orlando, thank you for joining the ThunderCast, man. Thanks for being here today.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you all for having me.
No
Appreciate you.
No problem.
Anytime. Anytime.
We have another former player
Uh-oh.
that's over here. We're going to
Big
get
Rick,
on camera.
Ricky Hall.
Ricky Hall, come on in, sir.
Rick, how you doing today, man?
Bro, how y'all doing?
Y'all have a good time last night?
Oh yeah. Enjoying.
Did you
Sights and sounds.
get to reconnect with some herd brothers, have a good time?
Oh yeah, it's always good, man. Reconnect with the guys. That's why we all come back out, especially from our era. You know, when you win, that's kind of a glue.
Yeah.
So it keeps people together.
We seem to have a defensive theme going here
Yeah.
today, man. So
Got some badass defensive
I knew he had
linemen
some
on here.
badass defensive linemen. I know. I told Orlando he looked like he could suit up. You look like you can still suit up. You look good. You feeling good?
I feel good, but I don't think I can suit up. But
Why does everybody say that? Why, it's like, yeah.
my knees probably won't let me do that.
Well, I tell you what, it's it's great to see you back here. It's great to see 130 some of our herd brothers back here enjoying the weekend. What's got your interest peaked about this 2024 herd?
Well, I'm hoping winning. Winning usually the glue that brings people out.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've been kind of looking back, and the stadium ain't what it used to be. But when you win, people come out. So that's the thing. You gotta get victories.
Winning does cure all, and of course we're from the same era. We were here at the same time. You were playing when we were undergrads, and I say this a lot on the show. The whole time I was here, we lost 2 games here at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. 2 games, and you were a big part of that.
It's a pride thing. It was a tradition. It was passed down from when we came on our recruiting visits. And it was understood that when you came in, you were gonna get a ring and you were gonna get a degree.
Yeah.
It was understood, and we stuck to it. Somewhere down the road, it kind of fell off the track, but that was our thing when we were here. Now with the NIL and the people getting paid, I don't know if you would see that again. It's just because it's like a free agency year to year. So this type of deal where you can get these people. If you notice, like everyone here is from the earlier years when you actually had teams. And, the guys had 4 or 5 year scholarships, so they were there together and they stayed together those times. So you built camaraderie and when you glue because we were winning. But now you can see like from 2000 going forward, like a lot of those guys don't come back because they don't have nothing to come back for.
Right.
They didn't win. So it's a little different.
That does kind of worry me. I think about things like, has Marshall seen its last all-time leading whatever? Has that guy already been here, and will somebody that performs at a high level be here for 4 years to break those records?
Yeah. And it probably won't, because we were just talking about that. It's kind of physically impossible if you don't have the funding. It's just that my thing was, what is JMU or App doing that we're not doing? To keep the guys around or whatever, because you got to recruit your guys first now. Then you go out and get some new guys. And so I think, like the portal area, the Springs part just started. So we had a couple guys jump in the portal. It's good for some people, and it's got good for other people. You might not get home, so it's kind of like,
I mean, so as a guy that came here and achieved at a high level, won a lot of games, you can speak right to this. Right. The grass ain't always greener.
It's not always greener. You're exactly right. Like I said, I don't think with the way it is now, I don't think you ever see this type of deal no more where you can bring the guys together, because there ain't no togetherness, because it's free agency every year. And if you don't have the funding to keep people here, they ain't gonna be here. Ohio State gonna grab them, or so it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different going forward.
So let me ask you the important question: did you get your belly full today?
Yes, I did.
You dug into some of that good barbecue over there?
We're good. We definitely good.
Good. That's the most important thing, really. I mean, I like talking football, but we came here to eat and have a good time today. Russ, what you got for Ricky?
No, I just, if you would, let everybody know what Ricky Hall's up to right now.
Right now, Ricky Hall is, I'm a captain at the fire department in Atlanta, city of Atlanta. And I also have a dialysis transport business. So I take people back and forth to dialysis. I have a company with a couple of partners who are doing that, and I do that on my off shifts. So,
we have a pretty big contingent of former players down there in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys do watch parties and everything?
Well, we get together a lot. I got Javon Darling and Larry Smith and Damone and Terrence Tarpley and Tim Mitchell. We get together. We definitely get together and do stuff. We actually have every July in Tim's house, like the 3rd week in July. All the guys come in, like a lot of guys come in from out of everywhere.
I don't know if that's the one I got invited to or not, to Glenn Pedro. Glenn asked me to come down there.
Yeah, we do that every year. We started like 2 years ago at Tim's house. We do that every 3rd. I think it's like July 20th, something like that. We have a good time. All the guys come. Everybody from different eras come out.
Guys, if that doesn't get your blood pumping, that passion, that drive, that bond never goes away. It just gets stronger as the years go by.
Yep.
That's the same way for these players as it is for us fans. Every year that goes by is just one more brick put on that wall of passion that we have for this university and our athletic department. So, man, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Ricky, appreciate you stopping by and spending a little bit of time with us. It's about time to watch some football, ain't it?
Yes, sir. Hopefully they're tackling today, not playing tough.
There you go. Guys, Ricky Hall, Orlando, Washington, and Christian Spears. Who would have thought we were just going to go live for a little bit, have a good little minute of discussion, and next thing you know, we got information being shared. We
Yeah.
got stories being told. That's just a small part of what we're trying to do for the Herd fan base, man. Bring you closer to the programs that we all love.
And we had a lot of former players already make it through the food line before
Yep.
we went live. Some of them have been mentioned on here. Again, Glenn Pedro getting that monster plate. I think he had 5 plates underneath just so it would support all the food on there. Glenn, I hope you're watching. But no, great event.
Yep.
It's going to get bigger next year
Yep.
because we
You
don't
talking about the alumni reception?
that, but
Yep.
I'm talking about this tailgate.
And this.
Because we don't try to get in the business of let's do something and then make it worse.
No.
We try to make it better.
Yeah.
And this year it is better because of landscaping by Hillcrest. Just they said, here's what we're going to do. And they said, can you make it bigger? And we said yes. And they said, we want you to make it bigger and we're going to do that for you. So
Yep.
guys, if you enjoy this, what we do, please share that love right back to Landscaping by Hillcrest because they did this so you could come here and eat for free. Jed comes over and runs this, powers this, so you can watch and enjoy this, get a little bit of football fix, get
Yep.
a little live tailgate fix when you can't be here live.
And an exclusive interview or 2 or 3.
Yeah. So support Jed, support Landscaping by Hillcrest. Our sponsors give us so much, allow us to do so much, so we want to make sure that everyone supports them as well.
And last but not least, support the Big Green Scholarship
Yep.
Foundation. They are still over here at the tailgate. If you come over and sign up for just a minimum amount, $60 on the year, $5 a month, you're going to get a set of grill mitts. And of course, you get the Herd Perks card and every other benefit that comes along with joining the Big Green, on top of funding scholarships for our student athletes. And that is really what it's all about. Russ, it's about time to go watch a little football.
It is.
So why don't you do us a favor and take out this ThunderCast Live powered by Ignite Link.
Yeah, so whether you see us at the Joan, whether you see us at the Dot tomorrow 10:30 a.m.
That's right.
Or whether you see us over here eating some burn-ins, pulled pork, and everything else, no matter where you see us, we're going to be saying, go Herd.
Go Herd.